My question is to the Associate Minister of Health and reads, can she confirm that the Ministry of Health allocated funding to the National Hauora Coalition in 2019, which is being used to offer the incentive of two $50 Pressie cards to expectant or new mothers for attending a pregnancy assessment and a 6-week assessment? And can she confirm the eligibility for the payment is determined by whether the expectant mother identified as Māori when they enrolled at their practice?
Mr Speaker.
The Honourable Willow Jean Prime.
Mr Speaker, Best Start Kōwai are pregnancy assessment tools that facilitate best practice assessment for all pregnant individuals and their babies throughout their pregnancy journey. As a small part of the initiative, there is an opt-in incentive of a $50 Pressie card to expectant new Māori mothers for attending a pregnancy assessment and another $50 Pressie card when the baby attends a 6-week assessment. In answer to the second part of the question, the eligibility for the payment is determined by whether the expectant mother and or baby identified as Māori. However, practitioners are able to use the tool with any pregnant person.
Supplementary. Why did the Ministry of Health reassign a $3.4 million underspend from the Community Services Card Subsidy Scheme, a scheme which benefits the economically vulnerable, to a scheme which exclusively benefits mothers from one ethnic group?
Mr Speaker, as I said in my primary answer, the Best Start Kōwai is an assessment tool that is available for all.
Supplementary. Does the Minister believe that it is acceptable that two pregnant women who both have high health needs, who are both facing financial hardship, could be treated differently by being offered Pressie cards when it comes to receiving the incentive payment because of their ethnicity?
Mr Speaker, I again refer to my primary answer where the Best Start Kōwai assessment tool is available to all.
Why then does the Minister suggest this is open to all pregnant women when her responses to written parliamentary questions 21394 and 21391 suggest that the eligibility depends, quote, on whether the relevant individual identifies as Māori, end quote?
Mr Speaker, to answer the member's question, I stand by the answers that I've given previously. In terms of Best Start Kōwai, the practitioners and practices who have implemented Best Start Kōwai, which is available to all, receive after each assessment a $100 payment as part of the Best Start pregnancy assessment and a $50 payment per the Best Start baby assessment. That is available to all. Incentive payments are paid to those practices which are implementing the tool which is available to all. Point of order.
Point of order, the Honourable Willow Jean Prime.
I seek leave to make a personal explanation to correct an answer to an oral question.
Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? Appears to be none. The Honourable Willow Jean Prime.
I would like to correct an answer I gave in relation to oral question number 3, supplementary number 3, yesterday. While I was speaking about the Best Start Kōwai assessment tool and it being available to all, I wasn't clear that the incentive payments that are paid to the practitioner are paid when they use the assessment with individuals who identify as Māori.
Is it acceptable to give $50 Pressie cards to people who are Maori and not give $50 Pressie cards to people who are not Maori?
I think you've got to look at the circumstances there. Overall,
the circumstances are some are Maori and some aren't.
Well, overall, I've been pretty clear that the health system should be treating people equally, but we should recognise that for Māori, for a long period of time, that's not been the case.
And so is recognising it in an acceptable way a $50 Pressie card?
the discretion as to who gets a Prezi card and who doesn't sits with the health system and the people on the front line.
Of which
and I'm
you
not
are
going
in
to-
charge of it, and it appeared in the House last week, as answered by Willow Jean Prime, that if you are Maori and a woman who is pregnant and Maori, you get a $50 Prezi card. If you happen to be non-Maori and pregnant, you don't.
As I've said, I think the health system should treat everybody equally, but in terms of the judgments as to who goes home with a Prezi card and who doesn't, those are decisions that are made by the front line.